we've got a piece of 3mm thick sheet steel here, and cutting something like this at home is really difficult because it's tough stuff. If you were in a factory or a metal working shop, you'd have a guillotine and it'd cut that off in a split second. But when you're working at home, you've got to make do with the tools that you've got. So really, there's not many things that'll cut through that at home. You're stuck with either a jigsaw, an angle grinder, or you can get metal cutting circular saws now, but I don't happen to have one of those yet. So I'm going to show you how to cut this using a jigsaw. So the first thing I'm going to do is just emphasise the safety aspect here, because you do need a decent pair of gloves on when you're handling the steel, and also you need a pair of safety glasses before you do any cutting with any power tools or anything. So I'm just going to mark a line across here. So we've got a line there that we can follow now. An important thing when you're cutting something like this is to get it as close as you can to the worktop so that there's no vibration. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a clamp on this side, and I'm going to make sure that's really tight. I'm not going to put a clamp on this side yet because this is where I'm going to be starting, so it's going to be in my way. So you'll notice that this particular jigsaw has an anti-scratch shoe on the bottom, so we're going to take that off because we don't want to damage that on the metal. It also has a metal cutting blade in here, so we're right for cutting metal. We will also need some coolant when we're cutting metal, so I've got some cutting tapping and drilling fluid here that we'll use. So we're just going to start the machine off, not actually touching the metal, and I'm just going to push it in. And you can see that it has started quite easily there, so we're just going to spray a bit of coolant on there. And now we can't see our line, but never mind. We've got a rough idea where we're going. It's important when you're doing something like this that you never force the machine. You just let it go at its own pace, just gently guide it through. If you start forcing it, you're going to end up damaging your machine. Now I'm going to have to move my clamp because it's actually in the way there. In fact, I'll probably go to the other side now and cut from that side. And there you can see that we've cut that off there. It's not the straightest line I've ever cut, but you wouldn't normally use a jigsaw for cutting a straight line in steel anyway, but if you do need to cut it, you can cut it that way with a jigsaw.